Good afternoon, fellow Zima Brigade. A little earlier than normal. Who's Mike Johnson? What does he want? What is he about? People were totally stoked on him until he became Speaker of the House. Born in Shreveport, Louisiana. We'll get to Tucker Carlson in a second. Captain of the Shreve High School. He earned a Bachelor of Science in Administration. Johnson was a constitutional lawyer. The Ukraine Constitution or America? You be the judge. So many other things. But it begs the question, who is Mike Johnson? What does he want? Why did it seem like he completely changed his tone when it came to everything in politics? Why did this guy turn into be a big cuck for Ukraine? Why don't you tell me? Get in the comments below and let me know. This is Derek.
Welcome to the revolution.
What's up, guys? Sorry, I've got a little earlier today due to I got some friends telling me they want to go get some drinks, and I guess I'm gonna touch grass later tonight. I might still go live later tonight, but I wanted to see this because I saw this this segment by Tucker Carlson. And I thought, what a fun thing to watch together and see what is Mike Johnson? What is his deal? Because he seems like he completely changed once he became Speaker of the House. Why is it when these Republicans all of a sudden get power, they all of a sudden become like Democrats? What actually happens? Or as Bryan Cranston says, who's a big leftist, no, Mike Johnson just realized that there was a vast majority of Americans who aren't on the same far right as other of the Republican Party. He realizes that most Republicans are just more moderate than Marjorie Taylor Greene is. He also realized, blah, blah, blah. All right, let's watch this together. Drop a like on the comment, say hello, see where you're watching from and all that good stuff. Okay.
The U.S. government has spent, since Joe Biden became president, the U.S. government has spent hundreds of billions of dollars fighting an undeclared war against Russia. No one in all of that time has explained really the purpose of this war, why it would benefit the United States or the world. Clearly, at least some policymakers are motivated by ethnic and religious hatreds. That's probably part of the real reason. But officially, no one has told us why we are doing this. But the net effect has been, in part, to send at least $75 billion to the government of Ukraine to fight this war on our behalf as a proxy. And it's not working. 2 years in, the war is still going. The population of Ukraine has been decimated.
Do you guys remember like how hype everyone is about the Ukraine war when it first popped off? Like there was videos everywhere. There was like everyone from every side of the aisle was like talking about how Ukraine's about to shellac Russia. And all of a sudden it just kind of faded away. And we've all just kind of just came to the realization that we don't care together. Even the corporate media is like, I don't have a stomach to continue talking about this, but yet we continue to send billions and billions of dollars. Even the report this morning, there was a UN official saying that we should send another $100 billion to Ukraine to what? Funnel that money?
Hundreds of thousands of Ukrainians have died.
How dare you,
the country
Valerie.
itself is a mess. It's been wrecked as countries are in war. Russia is a far bigger country. It's got 100 million more people and far deeper industrial capacity. Ukraine can't win. Everybody knows that around the world. People are very clear on that. There's not one informed person outside the United States who thinks that somehow Ukraine is going to beat Russia, because it's not. But that is almost never said in the United States. In fact, on cable news, they tell you day after day, Russia's going to lose any moment now. Here's a selection.
And we do begin with breaking news. Win, win, win. It's a word appearing in U.S. official statements in new ways and more than ever when it comes to Ukraine. Ukraine can win. Ukraine is winning.
But let's not lose sight of how much Russia is losing in this war. Ukraine is winning. This is a tough fight, and it's not a foregone conclusion that Ukraine will win in the end. But right now, Ukraine is winning, and that's an important message for the world to see.
Russia is losing this war. They are suffering horrifying casualties, the likes of which they have not seen since World War II, and for very little gain.
But right now, I think it's fair to say Ukraine has the upper hand. Ukraine is winning its war thanks to the enormous support we and others have provided, and we need to keep.
That's amazing how wartime propaganda is just incredible. Everyone falls victim to it to some degree, where it's like they're winning. Everything is just fine. It's you that's crazy to say otherwise.
The pressure on Putin.
President Zelensky described the time as the beginning of the end of the war. Does he have that right?
Well, I think it's clear that Ukraine is winning.
It's just Barry McCaffrey. They're liars and buffoons. And again, if you're looking at all of this coverage from outside the United States, you're laughing bitterly. This is the leader of the world? People who blithely tell lies, provable lies like that results in
welcome
deaths
here,
of
Hell
hundreds of
Knight.
thousands of people. And
You're
feel
right about
no guilt or
Twitch.
shame as they do it. This is the beginning of the end of Russia. Right. That last clip was from a year and a half ago, and they knew it was a lie then, and they know it even more now. But that has not stopped the push for you, the American taxpayer, in the middle of the total collapse of your own country, in the middle of an invasion by the rest of the world, tens of millions of foreigners coming here illegally. That has not stopped the press on the U.S. Congress to send still more to the government of Ukraine, another $60 billion. Nobody is for this. The overwhelming majority of American voters are opposed to it. Certainly the overwhelming majority of Republican voters.
Yeah, anybody with a brain can take 2 seconds and look at any of our inner cities and know that it's not doing too well. There are bigger things, bigger fish to fry, as they say. Kick as bad as Twitch with censorship? No, Kick is way more open.
Are against it. The majority of Republican members of Congress have said they're against it. But the leaders of the Republican Party and, of course, the Democratic Party are completely for it. Here's the top Republican in the United States Senate, Mitch McConnell, the disgraced Mitch McConnell of Kentucky, saying that as he spends his final months in the U.S. Senate before retiring, his main goal is to send billions more to the doomed government and illegitimate government, anti-democratic government of Ukraine, and hurting any fellow Republican who doesn't agree with him. Here's Mitch McConnell.
I finally thought it was time to go in a different direction. But I'm not leaving the Senate, and I'm particularly involved in actually fighting back against the isolationist movement in my own party and so many others as well. And the symbol of that,
how dare you put America first in his eyes?
Are we going to help Ukraine or not?
Are we going to help Ukraine or not? Hundreds of billions of dollars, U.S. dollars, spent fighting this war against Russia, which is not working at a time when our own country is becoming, in parts, literally impoverished. So history will record Mitch McConnell for what he is, an evil fool. But Mitch McConnell is leaving.
Tortoises behind
the
the Cold
amazing
War.
thing is the people who might replace him have exactly the same views. Meanwhile, Zelensky, the leader of Ukraine, a country that canceled its elections, doesn't have freedom of speech or religion, is destroying a Christian.
Okay, Hell Knight says, I ran 2 Twitch channels on Twitch, one for gaming and one for politics. My politics channel got banned. I don't get any views on Twitch. I stopped streaming on Twitch. I would get like 2 or 3 views. But unless you're Hassan Piker, you're not going to get anywhere. You know, unless you're Vosh, Hassan Piker, Destiny, you'll do just fine. Name one conservative Twitch streamer. Name one. Good luck.
Christian denomination, this so-called
or right wing or a libertarian.
Zelensky is telling American media that actually the United States has not done enough for him. And so he is doing all he can behind the scenes to lobby our leaders and our media companies. Zelensky, by the way, newsflash, is directly in touch with the owners of some owners.
Twitch is garbage.
Of American media.
I think Twitch is worse than TikTok for kids.
Coverage of this story. But that he's been trying to lobby the new Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson of Louisiana, behind the scenes. Here's Zelensky.
Last month, you said if we have American support, we will win. If we don't have American support, we will lose.
It's true.
Simple as that. Ukraine will lose.
But it's not. But it's not simple. Yeah. Yes, of course we will lose. Not one day, Of course, we will lose some our territories and etc. But totally, it для нас це буде великий.
Are we talking about Twitch right now, dude? Twitch is just like if you're a girl with huge boobs, you'll do just fine. Believe it or not, I was getting 20 plus views on stream, which I'm sure had a lot to do with why I was getting banned. Probably. I know Destiny was banned on Twitch. I just put him in the same bunch. I know he's more moderate or whatever, but he made a huge killing on Twitch at the early years. Remember the good old days with him and Hassan being besties, and then they slowly split apart.
Виклик, як потім повертати все. Бо це великі жертви повертати. Повертати території – це втрачати людей. Люди, якщо чесно, важливіше.
And Charlie joins us now from Kyiv. Charlie, we know that President Zelensky spoke with Speaker of the House Mike Johnson on Thursday. What did he tell you that his message was to U.S. lawmakers?
Well, John, in his words, he said that $60 billion aid package should have been approved yesterday.
Oh, it should have been approved yesterday. Well, apparently he's successfully made that case to Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, who has said the second the congressional recess ends, his number one priority at a moment when the U.S. is being invaded will be to send that $60 billion to Ukraine, possibly as a loan.
Isn't that crazy? And this whole loan thing, sending loans to Ukraine, this is the same administration that is doing loan forgiveness. What makes you think that they're not going to do loan forgiveness to Ukraine? What makes you think that these people are actually going to pay back? What in the United States government makes you think, oh, these people that the IRS does audits on you, but remember those stories over the summer where they were saying billions of dollars and millions have just gone unaccounted for in the United States Pentagon budget and stuff like that. This money isn't going to be accounted for. And you remember also when people were saying we should audit the money that's going to Ukraine, and everyone said, whoa, how dare you in a time of war audit the money that's going to Ukraine? What are you, a racist? Like, this idea that they're going to pay their loan back when it's a negative thing in Congress' eyes and even Republicans' eyes to say, hey, we should audit where this money is going to make sure it's not just going to these Ukrainian oligarchs and their kids to buy these Miami penthouses and stuff like that. This is a huge deal. Such BS. They keep bugging us, even though there's many NATO countries over there. Yeah, exactly. Well, we're the big cash cow, but we're not a cash cow. We're like the most in debt. We're terribly in debt. So money is meaningless. Why we still pay taxes? Where's our Boston Tea Party moment? In Russia and Ukraine, it's even more funny. Literally just had some dude quote Wikipedia on definition of fascism after I quoted Merriam website. I called him out for quoting Wikipedia. He banned me. I did start the show off of Wikipedia. Just to be fair. Yeah, Wikipedia is a joke. I only use it as a joking manner. I would never use it in academic setting. Continue.
Oh, not that, of course, anyone expects Ukraine will ever repay or be grateful for that money. They're not grateful now.
No.
So we sent a message to
Ukraine. It talks to us like they're a drug addict. You know, there's like, hey man, one more payment. And this time, dude, I swear to God, it's going to be different, man. I'm going to go to rehab. I'm going to change the way I do things. If we just have $100 billion more, we'll finally get Russia off our back. So please give us a moment. Just give us more money. Just $20 more, $100 billion more, whatever it takes. Wikipedia is a great source for information for the stupid. It's a good starting point. And then you should double check.
The Speaker of the House and asked him to come on and explain why, when the majority of the Republicans he represents, both the voters and members of Congress, opposes, why he would join with Democrats to do the one thing that Americans don't think we should do, which is send another $60 billion to pay the pensions of Ukrainian bureaucrats and fund a doomed war. Why are you for that? And of course, he hasn't responded. We also sent multiple requests to Zelensky himself for an interview to explain his position. Of course, he ignored that as well.
Yeah.
There's not a lot we can do, but one person who actually serves in the U.S. Congress and who is saying the truth about this question out loud is a member from Georgia called Marjorie Taylor Greene, and she joins us now to explain what she's doing.
Everybody on the left just got triggered.
Insanity. Congresswoman, thank you so much for coming on. Do we mischaracterize any of that?
Me.
do you think? I mean,
No,
from
not at
an
all.
outsider's perspective, it seems like Mike Johnson is working, the Speaker of the House, the Republican Speaker of the House, the supposed conservative, is working with the Biden administration to put the priorities of Ukraine above the priorities of the United States and to do something that his own voters don't want him to do. Is that true, do you think?
Yeah, that's absolutely true, Tucker, because the details of the foreign aid package that we're going to be voting on next week when we go back to Washington, we're reading about the details in the news. Let me tell you something. Not one Republican member of our conference that I have spoken to has any idea what is in this foreign aid package that's going to give $60 billion to Ukraine. And
Right.
that is even the
How dare you
leadership
audit that.
offices. They haven't heard from Mike Johnson on the details. We're reading about it in the news the same way the American people are, and it's outrageous. When you saw Zelensky right there on that interview talking about, oh, we're going to lose territory. Oh, we really need this money. This $60 billion should have been approved yesterday. Let me tell you, we are losing our country to the illegal invasion that's happening every single day at our southern border. And I am so pissed off about it because the American people are pissed off about it. And while our so-called Republican Speaker of the House is only working with Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries and Ukraine First Mitch McConnell and the White House and Jake Sullivan, who he talks to on the phone all the time, we are angry and people have had it. We don't want $60 billion to go to Ukraine because as we slept last night, Tucker, we just went $40 billion more into debt. And that's because the interest on our debt is so huge and our debt is so massive. This is happening while we sleep every single night. So no, we don't want to send $60 billion to Ukraine. We want to put our country first. It's time to care about America.
So, I mean, is it true, do you think, that the Republican Speaker would bring this up at when your recess ends and get it passed without the majority of Republicans, but with Democrats? Like, could that actually happen?
Yeah.
Yeah, you bet your ass that'll happen. Hell Knight says, I've expanded my understanding of politics beyond the left or right. Good. Don't just vote down the line. Don't Republican till I vote red till like, look at these candidates. Put them under the microscope. Hold their feet to the fire. If they say they're going to do something, say they're going to do something. Like Trump right now is talking about that day one he's going to deport all these illegal migrants. I'm going to be calling that out. If he doesn't do it by day one or he doesn't do it by month one, I'm going to talk about it every single day until that's what I'll turn into. It's worse. He works for Israel. Wow. What Republican doesn't? Her. Okay, let's keep going. Yeah, but isn't that incredible though? They go for the Republicans and the Democrats. They go to recess, and the first thing on the ballot is Ukraine. Really? Ask any average American what their thoughts are on that. They won't say that's the number one priority.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's what he's planning to do. Here's what I've been told. Well, first off, let's go back, Tucker. The last vote that we had on any Ukraine funding was on September 28th of 2023. That was only months ago. And that vote, only 101 Republicans voted yes for $300 million. $300 million to go to Ukraine. And that was because I pitched an enormous fit and said, take this money out of our Department of Defense. We should not be funding a foreign war in order to fund our military. That's completely wrong. And our military, their mission, as stated on their website, is to put our national security first. It's all about our national security. Fighting a proxy war with Russia in Ukraine, which is a non-NATO member nation, is not protecting America's national security interest. It doesn't protect the United States of America. As a matter of fact, that pushes us closer and closer to World War III. So we had that vote on September 28th, 2023. 117 Republicans voted no. That was the majority of the majority. Every single Democrat voted yes. Every single one. They had 0 Democrats vote no. Our Republican Speaker of the House is planning to suspend the rules next week. He is planning to not put this bill through the Rules Committee. He's not going to allow us to do any amendments. Amendments are our way of changing a bill. Amendments are our way of putting our district's interest, who we represent. That's our job title, representative. It's our way of changing a bill. Mike Johnson is going to tie our hands behind our backs and not allow us to do that. As he brings that bill to the floor, every Democrat will vote for it, and a small portion of Republicans, less than the majority, will vote for it as well. And this isn't a Republican speaker we have right now. This is a Democrat speaker of the House, because there is zero daylight between what Nancy Pelosi did last Congress and what Mike Johnson is doing now as our so-called Republican Speaker of the House.
It's
Dude, if they vote for that bill, Fox News Alert. Fox News Alert, I will be calling every single one of those representatives, and they will hear from me on their answer machine. Fox News Alert, and you're not going to want to know what I say. Thank you. I love MTG, dude. Same. The proxy was Russian, Iran, and Israel, of course. What happened to MAGA Mike? Dude, I was never on this. Mike Johnson's going to take over and make everything great. I think Benny Johnson was. Some other Republican channels that I've seen, or conservative channels I've seen, were all about Mike Johnson. He didn't fill me with hope at all. I think it's just his face. He looks like a pushover. Okay, let's keep watching.
It's just an amazing thing to see. Will he take a call from you?
No.
I'm planning to speak with him on Friday, and I'm very much looking forward to that.
It's just interesting that he's talking, and a lot of people in the media are talking. We haven't been able to talk to, but to Zelensky, who's a foreigner with his own interests, of course, but not an American, and certainly not, we hope, a voter in this country. But all these people take calls from Zelensky and are swayed by him. Is it a little weird to see an American Speaker of the House pay closer attention to a foreign leader, or a number of different foreign leaders, than he would to his own voters and colleagues in the House, in our legislative body?
Yeah, absolutely, especially considering Mike Johnson has completely changed his character in a matter of about 5 months after he has become Speaker of the House. Mike Johnson is a Christian. He called himself a conservative, always has been. He's a Republican member, but yet here we are after the minibus was passed just almost 2 weeks ago in Washington, and now with the $60 billion going to a war in Ukraine that 70% of Americans do not support it. That's the most recent polling. 70% of Americans, and the majority of Republicans do not support funding Ukraine. People want to see a peace deal in Ukraine, not murdering more Ukrainians and more Russians. This needs to end. But no, Mike Johnson has made a complete departure of who he is and what he stands for, and to the point where people are literally asking, is he blackmailed? What is wrong with him? Because he's completely disconnected with what we want.
I mean, he kind of looks like a dude that's blackmailed, doesn't he? He's got that vibe. His head down. He looks like he's about to make a huge regret in his life. He's thinking about everything that's going on. Valerie from Russia. Mike Johnson only became Speaker because he was high on the Jewish lobby. Junior says they will pass the bill. They don't care if we get mad. No, they don't care at all. No, we're just pawns. We're pawns in the chess game. We're a bunch of nobodies, but they'll hear from me. Yeah. They'll hear from me. Okay? They'll hear from me. Okay, let's keep watching. Stupid.
God. Is he blackmailed? What is wrong with him? Because he's completely disconnected with what we want.
Do you think he is being blackmailed?
I have no idea. I can't comprehend, Tucker, what radically changes a man.
I love that she just put that out there. It's just like, hey, he could be blackmailed. There could be naked pictures of him. Mike Johnson, that is another name for penis. So, Mike Concho, I mean, he's basically a porn star. Where's your OnlyFans, bro? Are you being, let us know. Blink if you need help, Mike Johnson.
Man, I mean, if we break down the second part of basically an omnibus, let's break that down. So Mike Johnson is pro-life. In the second part of the omnibus, just less than 2 weeks ago, He funded full-term abortion clinics. Full-term abortion clinics. He funded the trans agenda on children. I mean, how does that even happen from a Christian conservative Republican speaker? He did nothing for the southern border, did nothing to secure the border. And this comes on the heels of Laken Riley being brutally murdered. This came on the heels of a video that was running on loop on social media where illegal aliens had rushed our border, ran over Texas National Guard, ran over Border Patrol agents in order to invade our country. These were military-aged men, by the way. He did nothing to secure a border. It's the #1 issue in the world. He completely changed who he was, funded the FBI, gave him a brand new building, fully funded the Department of Justice that is persecuting everyone on the right and actually targeting our presidential candidate for election this year, literally trying to put him in jail the rest of his life. We don't know who Mike Johnson is anymore, so there's I can't comprehend it.
Well, I have noticed just from living in Washington for so long that a lot of the top decision makers are lying about their personal lives, and there's something really amiss there. I would definitely say Mitch McConnell would be among those. And there does seem to be a connection between the creepiness of your personal life and the deception around your personal life and your willingness to vote with the other side. I mean, have you noticed this at all?
Absolutely. And I think it's something that the American people are extremely aware of because none of it makes sense. Yeah. How do you become Speaker of the House? And let's look at that. It's basically like there's establishment Washington runs like a company. We could call it the firm. Well, Mike Johnson just got promoted to senior partner at the firm because he has been obeying their every single demand. He funded the military. He funded the military-industrial complex and everything that they want done. He funded Biden's open border invasion. He funded the Green New Deal, the climate agenda. He funded full-term abortion clinics, the trans agenda on kids. He funded every single thing that the firm stands.
Dude, these omnibus spending bills, I think, are the biggest issue in our American politics. And I will fight anyone to the death on that. I think they are single-handedly ruining this country, and we are funding things that don't deserve to be funded, but also things are just slipping into these huge bills that get dropped at 2:30 in the morning, and you expect these 80-year-old politicians to read a sentence to any of this? They're just like, just tell me what I want to hear. You know what I mean? I hate the way we do bills in this country. If you can't fit it on one piece of paper, then you can't pass this bill. And if it needs to be multiple bills, then that's just the thing. It should be multiple bills. These million-page bills where everyone just gets what they need in order to get by is just such a problem. Such a huge problem. Kevin McCarthy is loving this. Yeah, I told you so. But I don't know who's worse. Hindsight's 2020. Monday morning quarterbacking.
And what they're trying to push on the rest of the world. This is the agenda for the rest of the world. And they're not hiding it one single bit. We saw the White House declare Easter Trans Day of Visibility, which is the biggest insult, slap in the face to Christians all over our country. And that's the majority of Americans. They are not hiding it. How did Christian conservative Mike Johnson go from being a Christian conservative, voting that way, legislating that way, to the Speaker of the House that actually funds that agenda? I mean, what in the world happens? And you can't help but to question, what do they have on him? Is he being blackmailed? What would make this man do this?
Or maybe, just maybe, he has always been this way, and he used the talking points in order to get elected because he realizes that the new movement is the MAGA movement, is the populist movement, that is the new right-wing movement. And so he would just say these things and do these things until he got to the power position that he's in now. That's a very powerful position, and this is who he really is deep down inside. That's what I seem to think. I don't think it's just some kind of blackmail. I don't want to go. I just think like that is such an empty route to go down, and it like excuses his action. I think this is who he is, This is always who he's been. And it's just him finally having enough power where he can be himself. That's what I think. I call me crazy, but I don't excuse people in this message or like call them stupid politicians or something. I think they're evil. I think they're doing exactly what they know they're doing. I don't like excuse their actions. I don't want to be that kind of person. You shouldn't be either, because it like gives them an easy way out. And I don't think they deserve. None of these people deserve an easy way out. Biden, I do not remember any trans stuff. Yeah. You know, we did a whole segment on this show of that whole Easter thing and him putting out a statement saying, I declare this day Trans Visibility Day, and then immediately saying he didn't know anything about that. It's just insane. Junior says, I don't understand how American people have become so helpless against our government. Where are our checks and balances? I think that's why I think they're so afraid, because people are starting to notice this. And they're so bloated with power. I mean, you're seeing those countless videos of like the FBI just like showing up at people's houses, to Annan houses, like in Oklahoma or Texas. And we just want to have a conversation with you, you know, just to show power, to keep you to chill out, stuff like that. That's what the DOJ is concerned about. Hell Knight said, I went from being liberal to conservative after actually thinking about shit. I became a Christian after sitting on my porch every night, getting stoned for a year straight. Well, I mean, you getting stoned, not getting stoned, but like, I think like that's great, man. Great. That's awesome. I'm a Christian too. I was really got solid in my faith in my early 20s. No amount of weed has converted me back. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Do everything in moderation. Am I right? You know what I'm saying? Even the IRS is armed now. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, remember the IRS getting armed over the summer, and just all those videos of IRS agents. And there was that one IRS agent that was like in a wheelchair with with a firearm, and you're just like, this is your force. Violet says, I don't mind people who have faith. Well, you know, always be open to stuff. You never know. Sometimes like having a higher power could be really helpful, but I think Jesus is the best higher power. That's just me. And the only, if you know what I mean. All right. Let's keep watching this. This is interesting. I hope she goes into more about him personally, because I think she would know him better than all of us. And not just somebody has some naked pictures of him.
And I would argue there's something wrong, because every single time I hear him open his mouth, he's complaining about how tired he is and talking about how he only gets 3 hours of sleep at night. Tucker,
Johnson.
let me tell you something. And you know this too. I have worked my ass off, like at times in my life where I'm training for triathlons, training for major competitions, working full time, raising 3 children. And at those times in my life, I was still able to get 7 or 8 hours of sleep. Busy as can be. There's something wrong with your conscience if you're only getting 3 hours of sleep at night,
or he's lying,
and you're tired all the time, and it's because you are going against who you are.
He's playing Dark Souls games. He's stuck. He's still playing Skyrim. He can't break the game. I don't believe the 3-hour thing. I think he's just saying that so people get off his back, like he's some kind of hard worker. You know what I mean?
You're going against your inner self. You're going against the person that you are, but you're turning into something else. And I think something is seriously wrong, not only with him, but many other people in Washington, D.C.
Man, I think that's such a deep point. And thank you for making that. And look, I try not to invoke people's religious faith. I feel like it's personal, kind of not my business. But Mike Johnson has talked a lot about his faith as a Christian, and he says it informs all of his decisions. So with that in mind, here he is funding a government in Ukraine that's putting priests in jail, literally putting priests in jail, banning a Christian denomination,
so crazy.
Sending the army in to close churches. And he's also funding a war in Gaza that's killing Christians and blowing up Christian churches. So how can a Christian be in favor of using U.S. tax dollars to kill and imprison other Christians? I don't understand that. What is that?
Yeah, you can't be. It's called a hypocrisy, is what that's called. That is completely against every tenet of our Christian faith. It's against what the Bible says. You know, if we went to biblical principles, Tucker, Biblical principles teach us to not be in debt because we are slaves to our debtor. But yet this morning, when Americans woke up, they found themselves $34.6 trillion in debt, and it went up $40 billion while they slept. So that is completely against our Christian faith, against our principles that the Bible teaches us. But to fund the murder every single day, to fund a war, to pay for it, to continue it, to advise it, to have our CIA on the ground over there running that war in Ukraine against Russia, nuclear-armed Russia, this is beyond this. You can't even call yourself a Christian if that's what you're doing. That is a complete departure from anything that is Christian. And I would argue funding wars all over the world is a complete departure. Because here's the truth. They lie to us every single day, Tucker, telling us that Vladimir Putin and Russia is going to continue and march across Europe and take over Europe. That is a complete lie, because that is not what we are seeing with our eyes. And that is not what history, recent history, is showing us. And that is not the statements of Vladimir Putin and Russia. That is not what they are saying they want to do.
I mean, like they care about Europe. They blew up their natural gas pipeline. They impoverished Europe. They destroyed the economy of Europe. Mike Johnson and his friends. So last question. Is this actually going to happen? Will this funding go through with Mike Johnson leading the charge? Of
course it is.
After recess?
Say yes.
Yes. Everything that I've seen, everyone that I've talked to, is this is happening next week. He's going to suspend the rules.
And you're going to hear from
me. To the
me.
floor for a vote. Every Democrat is going to wear their blue and yellow lapel pins and flags and scarves.
I think that's like the worst part for me. It's just like how cringy politicians get about war and their little lapels. Hell Knight says, I find it odd that people telling Christians to have an open mind are the ones who are most closed-minded. Of course. Everything about the left is anything they accuse you of doing is exactly what they're doing. So if they call you racist, they're being racist. They call you a liar, or conspiratory, or manipulate. Like that's what they're doing. It's a very ingenious tactic, and so it makes you even question your own reality, because you're like, wait, you're actually the one that's closed-minded, not me. And they're like, oh no, no, you're the bigot. I'm just closed-minded against you because you're a fascist or whatever. I've come to the realization that the sins are actions that will affect others. Yeah. Trump can sleep for 4 hours. Yeah, Trump can sleep for 4 hours in his own private jet. Cocaine's a powerful drug. Yeah, I'm starting to think that there is something serious in Ukraine, whether it's those labs that no one wants to talk about anymore, or some serious CIA operation that we are so afraid that the world finds out that we have going on. And so we'll do anything in our power to make it stop. I don't know. There's something weird about Ukraine. I mean, never in our life did we ever grow up talking about Ukraine. Ever. Except for like World Cup, you know? I know like 2 players on Ukraine. The devil always comes at you with a smile and sweet words. Oh yeah. And it's not even the devil comes at you with smile and sweet words. The devil comes at you and says, did God really say that? Did I really say that? Is that really what's true? So the entire premise of the devil is to question reality and truth itself. And that's exactly what the left does constantly. Is that really what a woman is? Is that really what ground is? Is that really what faith is? Is that really what a man is? Is that really what truth is? Is that really what, like, they're obsessed with that. So when does the money stop? It's never ending. Yeah, it's never ending. Well, we just go into debt further, and now they're going to come out. The Republicans are all going to come out next week when they all come back, and they're all going to talk about this whole loan bull crap. They're going to say loan 100,000 times, and there are people on Fox News that are going to take it and run with it. Idiots on Fox News. I'm like, oh yeah, it's a loan, and they're going to pay us back. It's not like we were used to doing under the Biden regime that was just taking our money whole hand over fist. They're going to be spouting that like crazy, and there's going to be idiots sucking that up. It's just a loan. They're going to pay us back with interest. Now we own Ukraine. I can't keep going.
And they're going to vote to fund that. And we're going to have, a percentage of our Republicans that actually support it will vote to fund it. And it will pass in the House. It will pass in the House. It'll go to the Senate. Mitch McConnell will line up his little Senate soldiers and they will vote for it. And Chuck Schumer can't wait to pass it because Ukraine is everything, right?
Amen.
Ukraine is everything. Murdering an entire generation of Ukrainian men is the most important thing that they can do. And yeah, they'll pass it, and then Joe Biden will sign it into law.
Yeah, shutting down churches. Well, that's their agenda anyway. Is there any way to stop it, do you think?
If the American people,
it's on us?
let me tell you something, Tucker, and I can't make this point loud enough. The American people can stop our government. They can. When they decide that it's important enough for them, when they realize that within 10 years, CBO has projected that we will be approximately $55 trillion in debt at the current spending levels. If everything stays the same, we're going to be $55 trillion in debt in 10 years.
I can't even comprehend that. And you can't either.
We are going to implode. If the American people finally decide they're tired of illegal aliens murdering them, they're tired of illegal aliens squatting in their homes, they're tired of illegal alien men raping children and raping women, yeah, if the American people finally have had enough and say no, they can stop it. And let me tell you, Tucker, if the American people say enough of sending money to foreign wars and foreign aid and funding the murder of people in foreign countries and in countries we can't even find on a map most of the time, if the American people say they've had enough of that and they're able to engage in this and stop spending all their money on all their hobbies and being disconnected and refusing to look at the serious situation that we're living in right now, oh yeah. The American people have far more power than I have, and I'm a member of Congress.
That's good.
If they literally hold our government accountable and stand up and say, enough of this, I think they should throw out every single elected official. I'm not kidding. Every one of us should be thrown out. This government is a failure to the American people, and I'm angry about it, Tucker, because I'm a mom. My adult children and that generation and your kids and our grandchildren at the current rate right now, they'll never be able to afford a home. They have no strong financial future, and they are going to be living and raising their own children in a country whose government has screwed all of us over. And that is the flat out honest truth, Tucker. And so, yeah, the American people could stop it if they really want to.
I hope that lion roars. I will say, Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene of the state of Georgia, thank you so much for that. Good luck.
Thank you.
I mean, say what you will. That girl's fire. Let me see some of y'all chats. That is an unfortunate reality that these politicians just don't care. You can kick and scream all you want, but it's just like they come together against us. The gaslighters always call their victims gaslighters. Isn't that? Narcissists always call other people narcissists. I think that Violet says, I think there's been an overcorrection. God, I can't even speak. I think there's been an overcorrection for the minority of fundies who might want a theocracy. Growing up, I assume Christians were largely bigoted, but they are really not. No. There's a part of, there's always like sex or like parts of every group that is a little over the top and a little too aggressive or insane, or take like the smallest context, the smallest verse, the smallest ideology, the smartest thought process, and then like expand on it to extremism. There's always that, because there's always like schizophrenics in every group, it seems like. You know what I mean? Every group has its own schizos that you just have to be like, they're crazy. The Westboro Baptist Church, those people are nuts. I've confronted those people when I went to college, and that was fun. That was really fun. Gaslighting doesn't exist. Y'all made it up because y'all are fucking crazy. Yeah, exactly. Junior says, can you only imagine if the info Trump is going to release once he becomes president? He has nothing to lose now. I hope Trump is true to his promises. Like the whole Julian Assange thing, Edward Snowden, whatever, RFK Jr., I mean Senior, Daddy Kennedy. The fact that those papers weren't released is still something that irks me, and that I want him to actually do. I hope he doesn't like say all the things to tickle your ears, and then, surrounds himself with Jared Kushners, and then nothing happens. Drain the swamp, dude. Violet, that is like, that's romantic. You can't be saying stuff like that to me. Violet says, like the cult of the left is absolutely bigger and more aggressive right now. They're loud, and they're like, to be honest, they're kind of scary. You know, to a lot of people, the left cult is very scary. And for understandably, I mean, the way they can just get their little minions to go around and ruin people's businesses, ruin people's jobs, and get you fired is scary. Is scary. And if anyone pretends like it's not, it's crazy. I mean, that's why a lot of people in jobs today will even acknowledge or engage in the whole pronoun debate. You know, I refuse to. That's why I started my own company. Violet says I'm a weirdo. They don't accept me. I'm a weirdo too. That's why you're here, Violet. I don't really fit into groups. I don't really fit into the right wing groups. I don't fit in the left wing groups. I just fit in my own group, and that's why you're here. I really appreciate you being here. I have never felt like I fit in anywhere. Like, if I get in a group, if I go to like a TPUSA event, I feel like I would probably feel uncomfortable. But if I go to like a Biden rally, I would also feel uncomfortable. I need to be around funny people. Comedians, those are my people. Anybody that can make me laugh, I want to hang out with those people. As long as you make me laugh, I'll be good. But I can't be around people who are just so serious all the time and just so angry, or tell me to buy the Trump Bible. Like, I'm not gonna do it, dude. I can't. I have a conscience. Girl. Trump is almost 80. Just imagine living your highest life high at 80. Junior, I didn't even think about that. That is so crazy. Being that old. I know. What a wonderful example of why, you know, so many people have like midlife crises in their mid 30s, their early 30s. Like, women have their midlife crisis, early 30s, men have theirs in their later 30s, and they think like their life's over. And then Trump rolls in at 80 and is like, dude, I'm freaking president. Like, none of us who are in their early 30s or mid 30s or 40s or 20s or 50s think like, oh, something even greater in my life's going to happen. I'm going to become president one day. That never crosses my mind. I always think like the peak is right here. What else is on you guys' mind? This whole LSU girl she's getting shellacked through the news. What's this? This Joe Rogan? Daddy Joe. This is the dude that was on The View that owned those women.
Oh, Ben Shapiro should debate Destiny.
Oh my God! I know they did. They did debate.
Did they really?
Yeah, absolutely. They did. What? Who hosted them? Was it Lex?
Was it?
I could be getting that wrong, but I think Lex hosted a debate like 2 months ago.
Well, he had a debate a couple of months ago, but it was a Palestine.
No, that was separate.
Debate.
I also saw
Joe Rogan is like 4'4", yeah, but he could kill both of us.
Saw that.
Oh,
that was like the 4 hours. Yeah, there you go.
That guy debates everybody.
Yeah,
he's so ridiculous. He does a Wikipedia search and then just starts going after things like he's an expert.
Yeah,
it's just it's.
The Joe Rogan just called Destiny a Wikipedia guy. That's when you know it's bad. That's when you know it's bad for you. When people like Joe Rogan are calling you the Wikipedia guy, and that's what they know you as. Dude, if I was Destiny, I'd be freaking pissed. Oh, what are you gonna? I mean, what? Come on. Of course, I use Wikipedia. I mean, it's free. What are you gonna?
It was a fun time. It's a really fun time. It's a fun time for watching people flail. Ben Shapiro.
It's over for him, dude. Dude, his posse of followers are gonna lose their minds at that clip. He doesn't know anything. Valerie says he spent 6 days, 11 hours on each writing Wikipedia on Gaza since 3,200 years ago in Palestine. I actually watch some of those live streams. I watch Destiny sometimes. I watch a lot of leftist streamers just because I want to know what they're thinking, what's going on. And because I don't want to just only watch the same people. I want to know what they're kind of thinking. But I do think it's funny. His streams are so boring. I don't know why 10,000 people watch him just reading. I don't get it. There's so many boring streamers out there that I'm like, how is there so many people watching this? Destiny gets hopped on Adderall before his debates. I just like, isn't that like a lefty superpower? I'm neurodivergent, and so therefore I don't need Vyvanse today, Mom. I need the good stuff. I need the old school Ritalin like they used to give it to us. What is this?
I kind of like it, though. I feel like Beetlejuice.
We do have an ad read after this, so this will be interesting.
Buy some Cast Brew coffee. It's so good. I love it. Cast Brew coffee. Is that the ad read?
Oh my God, look how freaking bloated he looks. What is happening? Well, you looking thick, Alex. Man, looking thick. I still need to do that whole I need to do the grifter coffees. I still need to go through that. I need to make a list. I need to check it twice. Hey, will you guys put in the chat? Tell me all the right-wing coffee makers that I don't know of, because I want to buy all of them and then do like a pour over and stuff. Cast Brew. What other coffees look decent? I know that Violet. I know you said one of them. I just can't remember what you said. Cast Brew, and then Coffee Brand Coffee. I'm actually a bastard of them, but I've never pushed any of that because they don't give me enough money. Invader Coffee. What other coffees of right wingers do? Black Rifle Coffee sucks. I've tried I'll do Black Rifle Coffee anyways. Maybe I just did the wrong brand. Invader Coffee. I'm not a fan of Black Rifle Coffee. I'm not even talking politically in the whole Kyle Rittenhouse crap, but I'm just like, I've had their coffee. It just tastes like it's old. Yeah, the Coeur d'Alene does its own. That's the Coffee Brand Coffee. I'm an ambassador for them, but I don't ever push it. I've never tried it. I need to try his coffee first. I've never actually sold up. Yeah, it's Coffee Brand Coffee. So Cast Brew, Coffee Brand Coffee, Invader Coffee, Black Rifle Coffee. Is there any? I know. Who's what's his name? Dan Bongino has like a coffee that he always does like a sniff chest thing. What are the coffees? What is it?
Oh, go ahead.
Get ready to hear the truth about
bringing up Obama. You take it at night. The state popular vote winner, and then one electoral vote to the popular vote winner in each congressional district. One electoral vote could be.
I thought he would have his little coffee thing. Dead Dog on Temple Coffee. Dead Dog? What's Dead Dog? Bald Temple has coffee. Yeah, the Temple Cast Brew. Cast Brew is his coffee. Cast Brew coffee. How much is that coffee? Cast Brew coffee. I think this would be such a waste of money. The Alex Stein. The double caffeine. I bet that tastes like crap. Whole bean. I would do whole bean light roast. Rise and grind. You know what? I'm going to be honest with you guys. USA organic coffee is not that good. I have never had an organic coffee that actually tastes good. 100% organic, whole bean, distributed by Cast Brew Coffee. Wait, it's distributed? Wait, do they not even roast their own coffee? They're just a distribution center? No. Our coffee is direct trade, proudly micro roasted in the U.S. Where is it micro roasted, Tim? Where is your coffee micro roasted, bro? Oh, is that what the Coeur d'Alene always makes fun of him for? Because he always talks about how all these coffee people don't actually roast their own coffee. I mean, I roast my own coffee. Maybe that's what we'll do. I'll do my own coffee roast in comparison to them. Coffee brand coffee. Most I get is just fair trade. No, fair trade's good. Roberto Jr. is his pet. Yeah. I wonder if I haven't even looked at Jeremy's coffee about if it is like the same roaster's choice. Sumatra? I'm not a fan of Sumatra roast. Coffee. Light roast. Anybody that makes a light roast good is a good coffee brand to use. Ethiopian is my favorite. Interesting. Does it say roasted? Processed natural? I like that he has the process type. See, Jeremy's already winning me over. Process type natural. Blueberry, vanilla, raisin, fruity. I bet that's actually really good. Ethiopian, it's a fruit. This coffee gives a sweet, complex of brew with stunning blueberry. I bet this is pretty good, actually. I bet he'll win. All right. I got to add it to my list. Probably coffee brand is always really fresh. Is it? Okay. They probably do roast it then. Yeah. That's really disappointing. Everything about this says like I'm just repackaging already roasted coffee. I mean, where is it roasted? Doesn't even have rise and grind. Ugh. I want to see Invader Coffee though. Invader Coffee Company. Invader Coffee. I should try Move Pick Coffee. Move and Pick. Is that Russian or something? I love coffee. I'm just a huge coffee person. Violet, I did see you post a picture on Twilight on Twitter or X saying you got coffee. Okay, so this is that Invader Coffee. Black Hard Blend. Roast type. Light roast. Nectar of the Gods. Both sold. Son of a. Don't call me Texas Specialty Blend. I bet this is good. Nectar of the Gods. Whole bean. Veteran. Looks. Is that the god of death or something? Hey, Ethiopian. See? You sold me right there. Cantaloupe raisin and pure cane sugar. Fruit forward. Light roast. Beautiful. Resealable bags. Veteran owned. Mold free. Nice. Fair trade. See? It's not even USDA organic. I think it's actually going to be good. I trust you, Violet. Nice job. Violet W. Funny, $20 is the priciest here too. It's all low acidity. Nice. This looks good. 100% fair trade, money back guarantee. Delicious. Fruit forward light roast. I got to come up with more of these though. Of what coffees. I don't want to. It's like, do I do like the coffee from Dan Bongino's show? It looks like crap. I mean, they just talk about how dark it is all the time. I'm like, you guys know dark coffee is easy to roast, right? It's just like over burnt beans. Like, do you know how to cook food? Do you know how to burn cook food? That's what dark coffee is. Burned food. And you're like, well, it tastes good. Puts hair on your chest. It's a low acidity. The one I posted on X. Yeah, the one you post on X. That looks cool. That looks like, I like that bag. Man. Okay. Yeah, maybe we'll do a coffee, and then maybe Coffee Brand Coffee will see that I like it over all the other conservative coffee companies, and then he'll invite me on the show. That's the goal. Coffee. Conservative coffee. I don't want to do like the My Pillow guy coffee. I just don't believe that's everything about that says Folgers to me. And I want to support
illusion.
It's like I want to support. I'm okay paying more for supporting companies I want to support, but if they're just making crap, I don't want to make it. Hey, Luke We Are Change retweeted me. Oh my god, it's so cool. I posted this. I said, Luke We Are Change, bro.
Hey, this message for that judge is Draco. You a pussy. You fat as fuck. I'm not.
Luke Weir changed. I can be racist. I drink my coffee black. Dude, I do too. I drink my coffee black. Just like my stepmom. Don't y'all remember I'm step black? All right, guys, I'm going to head out. I'm going to go hang out with some friends, get some drinks. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll see you guys live in the morning. I might see you guys later tonight. Look out for that. But probably not. We'll see, though. Violet says, I got all jumbled, LOL. The one I posted on X is definitely not conservative. It's local Pittsburgh roaster. Yeah. Yeah, those leftists, they just make good coffee. You know, there was like a TikTok that I saw that was like, everybody has their place, and you want a big left libtard making you coffee. You don't want a conservative making you coffee. It was so funny. No Bud Light. Have fun. Nah, no Bud Light. No, this is local. This is a German place. Good people, though. All right, guys. I appreciate you guys being here. If you guys don't mind dropping a like and a comment to help support the show, I'd greatly appreciate it. Have a wonderful day. Look out for my live stream in the morning as well. I had a lot of fun with the live stream. If you haven't checked it out from this morning, we had a lot of fun. And the shows have been getting great. Been trying to really get better.